title of this video is Why Saw 7 Had the Coldest Ending. And throughout the Saw movies, we saw that Jigsaw had many disciples throughout Saw 1 through 7. And these disciples are Amanda Young and Mark Hoffman. After Amanda Young failed their test in Saw 3 because of her inability to control her emotions, we see her get shot by the player, leaving Mark Hoffman as Jigsaw's only disciple. And one of the plot twists that made this pretty crazy, because you see her acting really irrationally throughout the movie. And one plot twist that really helped to explain why she was acting this way was because Mark Hoffman had written a letter to blackmail her, and with the information that she played a role in Jill Tuck and Jigsaw losing their child. And for this information to not get out, she ended up targeting the doctor, as well as throughout the movie we saw the doctor agitating her and pissing her off, and she was also getting jealous of the doctor getting all the attention. The letter told her that she has to kill the doctor. This information would be exposed, and she shoots the doctor, forcing the doctor's husband to shoot her in retaliation. This leads to the doctor's husband killing Jigsaw and the reverse bear trap killing the doctor as well. And unlike Jigsaw, we saw that Amanda gave her victims no chance to escape. Like the trap where the man had all the hooks in his body, and he was supposed to be able to escape after removing them, but the fire in the room still got ignited, and it was later found that the doors were welded shut. As the last disciple of Jigsaw, we see Mark Hoffman, who set out to complete the rest of Jigsaw's work. And when he does this, he ends up wanting to take over the whole operation, basically, because he thinks in his mind there's no one left to challenge him. Unlike Jigsaw, also like Amanda Young, his traps were not winnable, and we see this with the first trap with his introduction, where he ends up creating a pendulum trap and using it on the murderer of his sister, and this forces him to unescapable death. Jigsaw finds out about this, and he ends up recruiting him. That's basically the reason why he got recruited, was because Jigsaw blackmailed him with this information. We see in Saw 7, as the last disciple of Jigsaw, Hoffman goes on a mission. He goes to wipe out all the rest of the police department, and then as they discover his involvement in the last Jigsaw games through decrypting the audio, all the audio tapes that were left behind, he was using a filter, which I thought was funny, because you think he'd add another level of secrecy to it, do something else, corrupt it or something, have the tape get messed up afterwards. But he pulls off a crazy 3v1 against the agents and two officers. We see a sequence of him throwing hot coffee on them and poking the other two. He ends up catching Jill Tuck in her holding cell and successfully uses the reverse bear trap on her, which she tried to use on him, but he's also one of the only people we see survive it, because he ends up jamming it into a doorway. And this is where, so when he makes his way out, he ends up getting ambushed by Lawrence Gordon. And this was a big surprise, but it was also being hinted at the whole time. We see hints throughout the movies that Lawrence Gordon was still in the background, with Hoffman receiving letters. And when Jill Tuck went to pick up the safe, there were 6 letters left by Jigsaw, and she only gave 5 of them to Mark Hoffman. She gave the last one to Lawrence Gordon. And right as we see Hoffman go back to destroy the compound and all the evidence, we see one of the hints that we see is random flashes to Lawrence Gordon's office, as well as he was present during the fake survivor circle, where everyone was doing their fake Jigsaw survival stories. And the 6th envelope was what detailed the final part of his work, where he tells Lawrence Gordon that Lawrence Gordon was the last part, the most valuable piece for completing his work. When Hoffman goes back to burn all the evidence and gets caught while making his exit, we see him get jumped by 3 men in pig masks, and one of them reveals themselves to be Lawrence Gordon. I thought this plot twist was so cool, because he made sure to emphasize that Lawrence Gordon was the only hope for his legacy. And it was kind of ironic, because he was in the first movie, he was one of the first victims, so it was just cool to see him come back too. And it was also cool to see him play a major role 6 movies later. It had just been such a long time since his introduction.